Today is going to be called ARMssembly. So with this challenge, it says what integer did this program print out with the argument? Then they give us this integer, and they give us a file challenge to flag format as PicoCTF ARMssembly hex lowercase no x0 and 32 bits. Example 5261427 will be this value right here. So if we check this output to into hex converter or decimal to hex, we press this, convert it. We see that it's how many values? Let's see. It's 05AAB, so it's 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first 8 values basically. So what does this do? So I already downloaded a file, and it gives us a hint loops. So I already downloaded the challenge, and we get challenge true.s. So looking at the main function, and right away we see a call to function 1 and build a toy. So what is this basically doing? This is all it's doing is basically setting up the value to read in the integer value 373634246. And then what it's doing later is that it's if we go right here, it's basically running a toy function, which is, if you guys are not familiar with a toy, it basically turns a string into an integer. So in this case, it's turning 1, 2, 3 into the actual number 1, 2, 3. So what this is, oh, I keep opening the terminal. So if we look closely at here, a toy, this is basically converting this value into int, and then after that it's passing it into func1, So if we jump up to function 1, we see the exact same things getting set up. So in this case, we go up to function 1, and this is where things get a little bit more interesting. So if you guys aren't familiar with assembly, what's basically doing right here, this is storing the input into the stack, because in assembly everything's in the stack value. And what we're doing here is basically we're setting SP, the stack pointer, at 24 to 0. That's what WZR is. It's basically setting this as 0. So this is SP plus 28. It's setting it to 0. And after that, we go check L2. Now, in L2, what's going on right now is basically loading. This is basically loading the values into the respective W1 and W0. So you could think of it, it's loading SP24 and then loading SP28. And then there's a comparison between these two values. It's comparing the values, and if basically it's basically complaining if the first value, which is counter, comparing the values of counter, or not counter, but of SP28. Oh yeah, 28. Oh, and this is loading the input. Input's 12. Yeah, the inputs are 12. SP12. Stack pointer 12. Comparing the values of both. Comparing the values of counter of SP plus 28 is less than SP plus 12. And SP12 currently holds, so SP plus 12 currently holds this number value right here. SP12 is that. So if SP12 is greater than SP28, that's basically what's going on. And then after that, if it's not, Since SP28 is less than this, it goes to L3. And now in L3, we have this. We're adding SP plus 24 plus equals 23. We keep adding it. We keep adding it to itself plus 3. So this part right here. And then this. And then from here, we're doing SP28, which is this one right here. It's adding it plus 1. So SP plus 28 plus equals 1. And once SP28 is greater than SP28 is greater than the input, so once this comparison stops, all it does is basically return SP24. Return SP plus 24. SP plus 24. So if we get like a random notepad, what this is basically doing is that since SP28 is starting all the way from 1, so we're just going iteratively one time. So this is just going from 0 to all the way to this number, but at the end it returns SP24. That's the final answer. So what it's basically doing, SP24, it's basically, we're going to be returning SP24, but SP24 is moving 3 times the amount. So we know that the final number it should reach is this amount right here. So all we need to do is basically grab this number, which is what we inputted, and then multiply it by 3. And that's going to equal our final answer. But we need to convert it to hex, which is what we do right here. And now from here, if we click convert, we get this huge amount, but we only want the last 8 numbers. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be our last 8. So all we need to do is basically go back right here and do PicoCTF and then put this value right here. It might lowercase, but let's see if this gets it. So if we submit this, it says, hooray, you have solved this challenge correctly again. So yeah, that was about it for this challenge. Just gotta like understand and break down the assembly for a bit. But yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you guys learned something new today. I know I did. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.